The first thing you need to know about breaking into TV is that it's not just about getting your foot through the right door. It's about jamming your size 10 in that door and making sure everyone notices you for the right reasons. With a large number of scripts being sent into TV producers, you have to jump from being an unknown to a well-known with real potential. New writers are advised to work as assistants in the writer's office at television production and production company offices, where they can mix with the crew and studio execs. It's a fact that people in the business hire those they know and trust because it's the cheapest and safest option. If you're already involved in an industry you enjoy, then you will produce your best work and get yourself noticed. As a writing assistant, you may be given the opportunity to try your hand at a scene, but you'll also find out how to write what the producers are after, from commercials to documentaries. Your skills will be developed and opportunities will become available. There's only a small chance that people get promoted within an existing programme team, but when a new show is put together, you're in with a chance of being considered for a position. Monkeys groom monkeys to gain familiarity and trust, and we're still the biggest bunch of primates on the planet. You could also write an episode for a TV programme you know well. It's important to demonstrate in your writing that you understand the register, timing and themes of the programme. Don't get too creative and invent highly unlikely scenarios. Generate original story ideas using the regular cast. The episode should fit seamlessly alongside existing ones. Lots of producers want to see that you can take characters and sets and write within parameters that have already been established. If you write a spec for a show that's on air and also send in your own spec pilot, you can demonstrate the pitch and tone of your writing voice. Of course, the more specs you write, the better they will be, and you will naturally find your best genre. Richard Whitley, a working writer and screenwriting lecturer, recommends that you write 2 specs for 2 different current shows that you know well. Choose a show that is new, but not yet very popular. You should not only write a spec of a show on the air that producers know, but also write a spec pilot to show off your individual voice. The key idea, though, is not to submit your spec to that particular show. This is because people on the show you write for know the characters and plots inside out, and they will spot every little flaw in your script. If you send your script to a producer on a different show, then they will be aware of its growing popularity and enjoy reading your work. It's also worth registering your script with the Writers Guild of Great Britain or the WGA of America to safeguard it. So do you need an agent? It seems that script writers are often undervalued. Ignorance of the industry can lead to financial abuse, so it's advisable to seek out professional guidance, especially where contracts are concerned. However, it's not an agent's job to get you noticed. It's up to you to knock on doors and pitch your scripts. You get an agent when you prove yourself and have secured an offer. A good agent will help to negotiate terms for you and protect you from getting ripped off. Ideally, your agent is easy to communicate with and someone you can trust. So how do you find your perfect agent? Like any worthwhile relationship, it takes time and effort. It's not easy finding the right one though, so the following points are worth remembering. Get the list of approved agencies relevant to your country and do your research. Submit to agencies that represent TV writers. Telephone the agent first to make sure they are reading new writers. If they are, find out if they have any special submission rules and follow them. If they're not, move on to the next agency, but check back with the no agencies regularly to see if they've opened up submissions. Write to several agencies and compare what they can offer you. If an agent wants a fee up front, then they are probably dodgy. Never send in a full manuscript without being asked for it. Make sure that your TV script is in TV format. Sitcoms generally use double spacing, so one page makes for 30 seconds of viewing. Some comedies and dramas use single spacing, so check copies of the scripts of any recent sitcoms or dramas if you can. There are many online sites to do this. Send in a brief letter of introduction, a CV and a brief synopsis of no more than 2 pages, double-spaced, in a plain text, along with a stamped self-addressed envelope. Make sure your work is correctly formatted and bound, and don't forget to copyright your work before sending it out. Agencies always have a mountain of scripts to sift through, so don't hassle them asking if they've read yours yet. You're more likely to get noticed for the wrong reasons, and your work may not even get read. When you send in your script, include a postage paid self-addressed postcard asking for a rough estimate of how long it will take to process your submission. Just get on with your next script and wait. Finally, don't sign any contracts until you have met the agent. Read the contract carefully and query anything you don't understand. Most agents charge 10% for domestic fees and 15 to 20% for overseas. Check the contract for any rising fees and that your agent is going to be proactive on your behalf. If you're going to break through, you need to get noticed. You need to be actively involved in the screenwriting and filmmaking world and seek out your own opportunities. Network, read blogs, find out what other screenwriters are up to and what competitions they are entering. Enter regional and national festivals. Join screenwriting and filmmaking related groups on Facebook and seek out any opportunities that come up on screenwriting forums. Don't limit yourself to just writing for TV. Gaming is a major growth area for writers. Projections are used in art galleries, sports stadiums and shops, and increasingly in theatres. Installations incorporating both sound and music to create an ambience are growing in popularity, and museum interactive experiences require powerful scripts and images. Rhonda Merrick, independent filmmaker, suggests writers take all available opportunities to find groups and people on websites who share similar goals. Be professional and willing to learn from everyone. Team up with community filmmaker groups and think about how you could get involved with making a web series, vlogs and trailers for social networks. You could submit scripts for free to people who make web shows and films and see where that takes you. Join websites where producers, directors and production companies post job opportunities. Once you're visible, opportunities will present themselves. You also need to network face to face with the decision makers. But how? Richard Beauchamp, executive producer and writer, suggests that TV conferences are one of the best ways to do this. He says if you've never been to one of these festivals, it can be intimidating. The best way to build confidence is to be thoroughly prepared to pitch your TV show. Make sure you have the following as part of your arsenal if you are just starting out to build relationships. A 30-second elevator pitch. Show particulars to include title, logline, synopsis, treatment. Pilot script. Second episode script. Proof of longevity, i.e. 100 plus episode ideas. Season 1 storyline. The show's primary and secondary market, and a one-sheet summary with contact information on to leave behind. Finally, James Burbridge, social media accounts at Raindance, offers the following advice to improve your online presence. Make a website and include your contact email address and postal address, tagline, short, medium and long synopses, blog, make yourself noticed as a person and they'll be interested in the projects you're working on. There are lots of ways to do this. Regular entertaining blogs, how-to tips, funny micro shorts and interesting comments in discussions. Include links to all social media. Get a Twitter account and a Facebook page. Post regularly, but don't spam. Don't cross-post all your Twitter onto Facebook or vice versa. They're separate platforms with very different styles. Provide links to your website and don't forget that it takes time to build an online presence. It's also important to keep writing. Pay attention to what the networks are buying and keep your skills honed, because when you get the chance to shine, you have to dazzle and make sure you know what's trending. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Here are some more useful links. Some film festivals and a few final ideas.